What is up, members of D12? It is your commissioner, and I'm here with a preview of Week 14. And today, I'm kicking it old school, rocking out one of my OGs, Roddy White, today, as I will be giving my super awesome, fantastic fantasy football presentation where I tell my classes about uh, this league or these leagues that I'm in. I don't know why I'm on this matchup. I don't want to talk about this matchup just yet. Just quickly, I want to remind myself, Bork, Andy, and Chris that you guys do have a matchup this week. We all have a matchup for the consolation bracket. Yahoo doesn't recognize it. So as much as I would love to play Richard in the first round, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go up against Bork instead. I'm not going to go into super big detail in either one of these games because it's just the anti-playoffs. Bork should kick my butt. My team sucks. I don't have any standout players. I just mentioned on Facebook that my best flex option is Devontae Parker, and he's between all wide receivers and running backs. Not even tight ends. I didn't even include tight ends in that. But between all wide receivers and running backs, he's the 73rd overall player, and that's my best guy. Now, yeah, we all know what's coming next year. Hurricane season. That's what's coming next year. I posted this to Facebook already as well. Did a big post on the All D12 team, of which I have 0 members. In fact, I don't have any frickin' members of the All East team. Looking at the All Rookie team, a lot of the good rookies ended up out west. Prescott, Michael Thomas, and Sterling Shepard, all for Ferguson, so maybe the future's looking a little brighter, except he also has Ezekiel Elliott, Will Fuller, and Devontae Booker in his division for the next few years as well. The North team, pretty good split between DDP and Seattle. DDP finished with more points than Seattle, and it's reflected here by having more members of the All-North team. This one probably stings a little bit for San Antonio, as they had 6 of the 9 members of the All-South team, and was not enough to get it done, was not enough to get the Stampede into the playoffs. The East, it's Doug's division. Ivan and I are just living in it. 7 of the 9 on Doug's team. It's not really because Doug's team is so awesome as much as my team sucks and how subpar Ivan was and how lucky he was to sneak into the playoffs once again this year with terrible points. I don't know how he did it in back-to-back years, but he did. The West, light blue, dark blue, light blue, orange, light blue, dark blue, light blue, dark blue, light blue. Kind of surprisingly, Oakland with more than half of the All-West team. And Mike, despite finishing with the second most points in league history, only has 3 members on the All-West team. I know that he had the tight end 2 and the tight end 3, not only in the West, but overall. But the top 3 tight ends all hail from the West. So yeah, there's one team that's not listed here, and that's my team. Next year is coming. And if I was in the North, I still don't think I would have had a player, even if I was in the North. No. The North is terrible. My team would fit in well with that. CJ Fedorowicz, who DDP picked up like 2 weeks ago, is actually the best tight end in all the North. So, yeah. So let's go back to the matchups. Bork should kill me. And then, Andy, congratulations. You didn't make the playoffs, but after this week you will be out of the anti-playoffs because I see you taking care of Chris pretty handily as well. We'll get to the no-brainer between the two matchups in the playoffs. Pick to win. Yeah, we'll go ahead. We're gonna pick the Outlaws to reach the semifinals. It's been a magical run for Rob, just getting this far. Came right down to the wire in Week 13, but he made it here. But looking across the board, there's not a single matchup that I take Rob's guy over Mike's guy. If we consider Cooper to be Seattle's wide receiver one, this should be Mike in a blowout. That being said, Mike is coming off of a 3-game losing streak. I think he's still putting up more points than Rob in all those weeks. But Mike did just lose to San Francisco a few weeks ago. Mike is still hurting. No Alshon, no AJ. But yeah, Seattle probably not going to come through. Let's look at what happened last time that they played. Yeah, it was a blowout, 199 to 120. I don't think Mike's going to get to 199. I know that's really going out on a limb that he's not going to match the high point total from the season. But, yeah, I like Mike pretty big. Over in the other one, we've got the third matchup between Doug and Northman. They did both finish with an 8-5 record. Doug destroyed him in points. Almost 350 more points. They finished with the exact same record. Durs finished with 250 more points, 230-ish more points than Northman, and is sitting at home in the playoffs. Doug did beat Ivan both times so far, and I think this matchup is going to be a little bit closer. So week... who am I looking for? This night's. So in week 2, Doug beat him by 24 points, and then in week 12, destroyed him, putting up his highest point total of the year, 177 to 139. I am going to give the nod to Doug. I think Ivan's team is pretty terrible. I mean, he deserves to be in the playoffs because that's how everything is set up. And I'm not suggesting that we change it. I love the drama that we had going up into the last few weeks of the season. Quarterback is pretty much a wash. Detroit does get to play at home against a terrible Chicago team. Roethlisberger has to play at Buffalo. Could be weather. Could play an issue in Buffalo. So maybe I do give the slight nod to Stafford there. At wide receiver, I want to say hands down Austin. I mean, he's got the best wide receiver in the game in Antonio Brown. Jordy Nelson, huge game last week. Jarvis Landry, Miami has turned it around a little bit. They are playing at home. So all three of those guys should be good plays. Over on Northman, Allen Robinson has disappointed week in and week out this year. I have stock at him elsewhere. Stephon Diggs, he'll get his receptions, probably not a ton of yards. And then prior, they have RG3 playing quarterback this week. Maybe that's an upgrade over Kessler and whoever else they've been throwing out there. I don't know. Running backs. The running backs are for sure a step down below the wide receivers. I'm going to give the nod to Northman here. Freeman is probably the best running back in our division. Ingram is questionable. Is he playing this week? Because that could be a hit for Austin. We're doing this live. He was limited at practice. Ingram had a minor setback with his toe injury last week. He likely won't get in much practice, but should play Sunday. Playing at less than 100%. Going up against my Bucks. My Bucks coming on strong recently. Still going to give the nod to Northman. Freeman better than Ingram. Latavius much better than Yeldon. How is Yeldon projected double-digit points when he's had 2 double-digit points since week 5? Yeldon, you suck too. At tight end, Ladarius Green coming off of his career game last week going up against Ebron. Ebron, questionable. I don't see this either. Lions finally cut Brandon Pettigrew. I noticed that earlier. Ebron limited has dealt with knee issues. He should be fine for week 14. Yeah, neither one of these are great plays. Slight edge to Austin. And then pretty much a wash here at the flex positions too. Is Doug missing some guys? I'm shocked that it's this close. I expected to just hop on here and be like, oh yeah, Doug's going in the landslide. Oh, he does have Jordan Reed, who if he plays, that'll be a huge bump up. Not a whole lot else. What happened to Doug's team? Why is he projected so few? I mean, it makes sense, but yeah, so these are probably the rosters that they're going with. I wanted to say Doug in a landslide. I don't think it's going to be a landslide. I think that Northman's running backs are going to keep him in this game. I think that Stafford is going to put up a lot of points. Who does Derek Carr play? Oh, they got the game tonight at Kansas City. Yeah, I'd probably still go with Roethlisberger. I'm obviously rooting for Doug. I want Northman's pick to be pick number 7. We'll stick with my pick. We'll say Doug this week. So I got Doug advancing to play against Jordan next week, and I've got the rubber match between Oakland and LA because I see that I think Mike is going to take care of business. So there's just a quick preview, although when I click over it's probably like 30 minutes long. But a quick preview. Maybe I'll do a recap next week, but I'll try to come back for sure for a preview of the semifinals. Hashtag TB and 17.